Something dangerous is starting to grow in Marshals, and episode 3 might be the moment where Case Dutton finally realizes just how trapped he really is. Because on the surface, Road to Nowhere looks like a simple conflict episode. Protesters, ranchers, the reservation, and federal marshals trying to keep the peace. But underneath all of that, the episode is quietly setting up something much bigger, a new enemy, and a threat that's becoming personal for Case. Let's break down what really happened. One of the most important things this episode shows is how Kayce is stuck between two different worlds. On one side, he's a U.S. Marshal, someone who is supposed to enforce the law and remain neutral. On the other side, he's still a Dutton, and he's connected to the Broken Rock Reservation through Monica and his family history. Episode 3 makes it painfully clear that both sides are starting to see him as a traitor. When Case arrives at the road blockade, the ranchers initially welcome him. To them, he's still the Dutton cowboy they remember, but that changes quickly. Randall Clegg immediately throws it in his face that the Yellowstone ranch was given back to the reservation. To the ranchers, Case betrayed them. But at the same time, some people on the reservation also see him as someone working for the federal government. So in one single scene, Case is basically told he doesn't belong anywhere anymore. And that's exactly the point the show is making. Case isn't just dealing with criminals anymore. He's dealing with a cultural war that's been building in Montana for generations. The road explosion wasn't random. Early in the episode, two masked men blow up a road. At first, it feels like a random act of sabotage, but once the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this wasn't random at all. Blowing up the road forces the mining trucks to reroute through Broken Rock territory, and that creates the exact situation that follows. Protests, ranchers getting angry, and tensions exploding. In other words, someone wanted chaos. Someone wanted ranchers and the reservation to clash, and the episode slowly reveals who might be behind that. The Clegg family is the real problem. At first, the Marshals think the situation might have been caused by Thomas Rainwater. That assumption makes sense because Rainwater has used aggressive tactics before to protect tribal land, but the truth turns out to be very different. The real shooters were Carson and Wes Clegg, and this reveal is extremely important because the Clegg family has a financial stake in the mine near Broken Rock. That means the chaos wasn't about anger or politics. It was about money. If the reservation blocks the mine project, the Cleggs lose everything. So creating violence and turning the public against Broken Rock could actually benefit them. It's a classic Yellowstone-style conflict: land, power, and people willing to spill blood to protect their business. The shootout changes everything. The situation explodes when gunshots break out at the roadblock. A young girl gets hit in the crossfire, and that moment is the turning point of the entire episode. Because now this isn't just a protest anymore, it's a criminal investigation. Case and Cal track the shooter into the woods, leading to one of the most intense action sequences in the series so far. What makes this moment interesting isn't just the gunfight. It's how the earlier training scene finally pays off. Remember when Case was teaching the team SEAL tactics earlier in the episode? That wasn't random character development. During the forest chase, Miles actually uses that same tactic to flank Wes Clegg. That moment shows something important about the team. They're starting to trust Case, and they're starting to fight like a real unit. But the victory comes at a cost. Carson Clegg is killed during the firefight, and even though the Marshals technically win, the conflict in Montana is far from over. Case and Rainwater finally speak honestly. One of the most powerful scenes in the episode happens later that night. Rainwater visits Kayce at East Camp, and for the first time this season, they speak honestly about what's happening. Rainwater admits that blocking the trucks may have been a mistake, but he also reminds Case that the Dutton family spent generations fighting for their land. Now the reservation is doing the same thing. It's a quiet but powerful moment because it shows something Yellowstone has always explored. Everyone believes they're protecting their way of life, and sometimes that means both sides are right and both sides are wrong. But Case reveals something else during this conversation. He believes the Clegg family might have been involved in the earlier assassination attempt on Rainwater. If that theory is correct, then the Cleggs are not just greedy ranchers. They're part of a much bigger conspiracy tied to the mine. Cal's secret problem. Another small detail in this episode could become very important later. Cal is seen secretly taking medication. The show never explains exactly what the pills are, but the way he hides the bottle suggests something is wrong. It could be painkillers, it could be anxiety medication, or it could be something darker like substance abuse. Whatever it is, the scene is clearly planting a future storyline, because shows like this rarely include moments like that unless they're building towards something bigger. Just when the episode seems ready to wrap up peacefully, the final scene delivers a chilling message. Kayce wakes up in the middle of the night. He walks outside, and sitting on his porch is a single bullet. No note, no message, just a bullet. In the world of Western crime dramas, that means one thing. Someone is sending a warning, and whoever did it wants Kayce to know they're watching him. The terrifying part is that we don't know who sent it. It could be someone connected to the mine, it could be the Clegg family, or it could be the same person who tried to assassinate Rainwater in the premiere. Either way, one thing is becoming clear. Kayce isn't just caught in the middle anymore, he's becoming a target. What episode 3 is really setting up, episode 3 isn't just about a road protest or a shootout. It's laying the foundation for the real conflict of the season, the mine, the powerful people behind it, and the war brewing between Montana ranchers and the reservation. And right in the center of that war is Kayce Dutton, a man who belongs to both sides, and at the same time belongs to neither, which might make him the most dangerous person in Montana, or the next person someone tries to kill. Episode 3 of Marshals quietly proves that the biggest danger in this story isn't just random violence, it's the growing war over land, power, and loyalty in Montana. What started as a road blockade quickly turned into something far more serious. The shootout exposed how fragile the situation between the ranchers and the Broken Rock Reservation really is, and it also revealed that powerful people are willing to push things toward chaos if it protects their interests. For Kayce Dutton, the episode reinforces the painful truth he's been living with for years. He belongs to two worlds that increasingly refuse to coexist. Ranchers see him as a traitor for siding with the reservation, while others question his loyalty because he wears a federal badge. That tension is what makes Kayce such a fascinating character. He's trying to keep the peace in a place where peace may no longer be possible. Looking ahead to episode 4, the mystery of the bullet left on Kayce's porch will likely become the central focus. Someone is clearly sending a message, and it suggests that the conflict surrounding the mine and the Clegg family may run deeper than anyone realizes. If Kayce's theory about their involvement in the earlier assassination attempt on Rainwater is correct, then the Marshals may soon uncover a larger conspiracy. Episode 4 could push Kayce even further into the crossfire, both politically and personally.
On the totem pole in these parts.
I'm just here to do my job.
You